Fields Huddle Group. Jaguars senior writer John Oehser, NFL Network analyst and former Jaguar Bucky Brooks, and senior reporter J.P. Shadrick bring you the latest on your Jacksonville Jaguars. Huddle Up starts right now.
Welcome in. It is Wednesday, October 30th. Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks. We've got a busy show ahead. The trade reports are now official. The team just now announcing that Cam Robinson has been traded to the Minnesota Vikings for draft pick compensation. We'll take a final look at the Packers-Jaguars game and then, as they say, flush it and move forward to the Jaguars-Eagles matchup this Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philadelphia. Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. See Fields first, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. J.P. Shadrick, John Oehser. We're at the Hyundai Studios at the Miller Electric Center. Bucky Brooks with us in Los Angeles. Well, good afternoon, Bucky, and a lot of news around here for a team that's 2-6. A lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on, and this happens when your team is not being very successful. Sometimes you have a flurry of moves that are designed to kind of have the team forward thinking. With Cam Robinson, it's a little interesting that you move on from him. He's a guy who's been a lifelong Jaguar. You move on to get future compensation, 2026 seventh round conditional pick, which is a couple years away. But the main thing is to move him, to give him a chance to play and to kind of reset what you're doing in the offensive line room.
Yeah, and it's a chance to see Walker Little. I'm say disappointed, but sad to see Cam move on. I mean, he's been around a long time. I liked Cam. Good teammate, played a lot of meaningful football around here, and hope he's a guy that stays connected with the franchise after he's done. Because I think he's a guy who deserves to be sort of a legacy type player around here. He had a lot of good seasons for a long time, but for right now, let's see what the offensive line looks like without him.
Well, you're not going to miss him long because the Vikings are here next week.
Well, I'm not crying over it. Okay. I'm just saying it's something that as a franchise, guys like Cam, are rare. 8 years, a long time to play on one team.
It is.
Yeah, long time. And a lot of times what you're thinking is like we had heard the conversations before about Walker Little and being a little intrigued about Walker Little playing in the starting lineup, being a left tackle and those things. Doug Peterson talked about Walker in the presser saying that he's much more comfortable playing tackle than he was at guard. And so to think about him being one of the best five at guard, that was not really what Walker Little is kind of best suited for. So we'll get a chance to see him. He also is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. We'll see what he looks like at what is a premium spot at left tackle and see if he can hold up and be a really good player on the outside.
Yeah, it's a huge. I mean, if you're Walker Little, this is
it.
Your career opportunity. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah, you put out some tape in the next 9 games, and guess what?
Mm-hmm. And
you're going to the marketplace.
And if you don't, then
guess what?
It's put up or shut up.
It certainly is. Let's hear from head coach Doug Peterson today on this time of year, how he has to manage the locker room when, the times are a-changing.
This time of year, guys get nervous. Trade deadline's next Tuesday, right? And we've already seen it around the league. Some top guys. I mean, you look at Devontae Adams and Mari Cooper and, D-Hop, guys like that. I mean, it's the way the league is, the way our business is, and teams are always making those types of decisions. So I do feel an obligation to kind of ease the mind of the players, and just say, guys, let's just continue to work and build. Only control what you can control, and that's your job, and don't worry about the other.
That's the head coach's approach. In the locker room just a few minutes ago, we caught up with Walker Little, and he'll be the starting left tackle moving forward. A huge opportunity for him down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a great opportunity to go out there and be able to play and play meaningful football against some really good teams that we have coming up, and just excited and grateful for the opportunity.
So we'll see what he has to offer at the left tackle position moving ahead. And, hey, that's the name of the game. We'll see. And then, of course, we can talk about the offseason and the offseason. There's a lot of that stuff coming up, and a lot of football left to be played this year.
Well, I think what's significant is, you were exceptionally deep at left tackle. And what happens when you lose guys? You're not deep anymore. So now Cole Van Lanen will be the swing tackle. I kind of wonder moving forward if at some point this season, if you don't want to get Cole Van Lanen in there somewhere. He had, I guess, JP, the greatest preseason in NFL history this offseason. Because it's all you saw. It's all you saw on Twitter for 3 days was Cole Van Lanen. I thought they were going to make a bust. But kidding aside, I just love Twitter with PFF, right? But kidding aside, do you at some point, Bucky, Anton Harrison, I think, is probably a left tackle of the future. Do you at some point get looks, or do you just assume that plays out with injuries? I'm just putting it out there for the analyst /scout /broadcaster.
Yeah, and look, I'm curious about a lot of this, right? So some would say that last year there were conversations about making this move where Walker Little would go in at right tackle, Anton Harrison would move to left tackle, but it never materialized. And some of that was due to the salary cap being much bigger than many expected. And so you were able to keep all the pieces of the puzzle together. Now what you want to do is you want to give Walker Little a real evaluation. Struggled early against the Packers, settled in and played okay the last 3 quarters of the game. Cole Van Lanen, you're right. A preseason legend, someone that you would like to see have an opportunity to get in game. We're not hoping for an injury, but if he does happen to get an opportunity to get in the game, you shouldn't be excited about it because you want to see if his preseason performance translate into regular season production.
Well, I mean, and again, we have time to talk about the offseason, but you're 2-6, so I'll talk about the offseason. If you like Anton Harrison, keeping right tackle, if Walker Little plays lights out, and somewhere you get a chance at Cole Van Lanen, maybe you don't have to address that spot in the offseason. Right now I would think you have to draft tackle somewhere, but maybe not. So it's interesting that you have those spots in place, and I think at some point you would like to see if how you project is real. Because last year, think about it, you heard these things about Ventrell Miller and Cooper Hodges, but never got on the field, so you really had to make moves where you couldn't just get those guys in. You would like with Van Lanen to actually see him on the field so you know if you need to make a move there or not.
So you have it, the trade now made official by press release about 5-8 minutes ago. That Cam Robinson is now a member of the Minnesota Vikings. Let's come back in a moment. We'll take our final look at the Packers game, 30-27. You were there, John.
I was there.
Bucky was there.
Enjoyed that game.
It was a good game
Not the outcome.
until the very end.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't a good game.
As some games are.
We'll review it. A little later, we'll look ahead to the Eagles and some of the matchups against especially the Eagles' running attack this week. And we're off and running. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Come on. Listen up. Just like football, timing is everything. Only water your lawn when necessary. And always check the weather before turning on those sprinklers.
Save water, save money, and score big. It's a win-win.
Whether you're on the field or at home, we're all on the same team. Florida's water. It's worth saving. This message brought to you by the St. Johns River Water Management District. Visit sjrwmd.com for more information. The 2024 season is Pawsome. Register your pet for the Four-Legged Fan Club, presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital. Your furry friend can access exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Fan club members will be automatically entered to win the Pet of the Game sweepstakes with 2 Jags tickets and sideline passes for pet owners and a chance for your pet to be featured on the video boards as Pet of the Game. Visit jaguars.com/promotions/four-legged fan club to sign up. Hey Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why they've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
I will say Walker's done a great job. I'm excited for this opportunity for him. He's played great when he's had the opportunities the last few years. He's been put in some tough spots. He's had to play a lot of different positions. He's had to come in 22 when Cam got hurt. He had to come in and finish the season when we were on that run, and we didn't skip a beat because he was prepared, and he prepared every day like a starter. And so he's been ready for his opportunities, and that's not easy to do when you're not the full-time guy. And now that he's getting that opportunity, I'm excited for him. So I think it's like there's always two sides to it, and it's tough. And but obviously, like Walker, like I said, he's more than ready, and he's done a great job, and I'm excited for him. I got all the faith in the world, and he's played great so far.
That's the quarterback, of course, Trevor Lawrence. The full press conference from today available at Jaguars.com and Jaguars YouTube. And welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks ahead of the Jaguars-Eagles matchup this Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field. We'll get to some of those matchups coming up shortly. JP Shadrick, John Ogier in Jacksonville, Bucky Brooks in Los Angeles. And our final look at this Packers-Jaguars matchup that featured two different 10-point deficits for the Jaguars. They came back from each of them. They took the lead after the first one. And then down 10 early in the fourth quarter, fought back with all these guys on the sideline. Top 3 receivers are out, left guards out. I mean, it's chaos. And Trevor Lawrence, the guy you just saw there, leads them down the field. He's throwing to 2 tight ends and get the game-tying touchdown. Great moment. But yet again, the pass defense fails this team, Bucky, and a big play sets up the game-winning field goal. But overall, where are you feeling about the effort that was shown in that game?
I give the Jaguars credit for playing hard. I give them credit for having resilience and toughness to bounce back from 10-point deficits twice, to get back in the game. I love all of that stuff, the energy, the effort, all that. But at some point, man, the execution has to reach a level where we can win games. And we're talking about the same things over and over and over again through 8 games that we've talked about since the beginning. Turnovers, pre-snap penalties, blown assignments, and missed tackling. The Jaguars will not win and win consistently until they clean up those areas. And it's a shame, but I feel like this team has wasted a good portion of the season on things that were self-inflicted, not because of what the opponent did. And the tragedy of the season is you're going to look at the end of the season, be on the outside looking in because you didn't take care of the little details that leads to winning at a high level.
Yeah, I mean, that's it in a nutshell. You have struggled this season. You're 2-6, and somewhat because of some really major deficiencies, meaning the pass defense has been bad in spots and not being able to get pressure on the quarterback. But had you been on details in these 4 close losses, you probably squeeze out 2 of those, and you're 4-4, and you don't feel like it's over. A lot of teams sort of tread water when they are struggling early and trying to figure stuff out. My theme after Sunday's game was such a shame because you don't feel like this is a disastrous roster. You don't feel like it's incapable of winning. But you feel like in the last 4 games, right, JP, they've played, 1-2, had a chance to beat a good Packers team, awful against the Bears. But if you'd gotten a couple of these that you probably should have gotten, you still feel like you're in it. And even the other day, what a shame to have that Trevor Lawrence effort at the end. And I know he cost them twice. But what an effort in those last 2 drives. I thought the best 2 drives of his career in the clutch may have been those last 2 drives the other day. But didn't really have a chance to close it, so it won't be remembered. And it's a shame that they're at 2-6 right now because they don't have to be.
And then you had guys making plays for him down the field in both of those drives. I mean, Brenton Strange, of course, Evan Ingram with the touchdown there. I mean, Tim Jones is out there. I mean, they've got 2 tight ends on the field for every snap.
It was all the resilience you've been talking about wanting to see all season. It was the, we've been waiting for 3 years for Trevor to lift, right? I thought he lifted late in that game. Yeah. For whatever else he didn't do before that, he lifted them, had a moment where had they tied it and won that, you'd have been talking about comeback Trevor in that moment. And didn't get a chance to feel that, Bucky.
No, I didn't get a chance to feel it. And, I felt like this was a game, like the Packers game going into it, that this was going to be a measuring stick game. The Packers are a playoff team. The Packers have been good for a long time. They do it the right way in terms of their homegrown process. And to me, this was a game that not only would allow the Jaguars to measure themselves up against a playoff team, but it would give them the kind of momentum that you need to have if you're going to go on a playoff run. And I go back and I look through my notes at the game, and I see just a bunch of pre-snap penalties, a bunch of false starts. Tim Jones had 2 false starts. Gabe Davis, Luke Farrell, like just so many penalties that should never really happen in a pro game in terms of just being able to go on the snap count. Then you have a defensive delay of game that was costly. I mean, look, they eventually got the same points that they got, but just so many times that we're looking at a game where you have a lot of really heroic performances and things that you like, but it's overshadowed by just the self-inflicted mistakes. And I just don't know how you fix them. Like Doug Peterson can scream and holler, they can run laps and up downs and all the other stuff that coaches try and do to make it stick when it comes to like not doing those things. But at some point, man, the players have got to take ownership of the lack of execution and some simple areas that are costing the team games week after week after week.
And then we also talked, JP, about missed opportunities. I thought the whole first quarter was a major missed opportunity.
Horrible.
You pin them on the 2, you pin them on the 7, and you trail.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's
nothing.
It's not a field position league anymore. Back in the 40s, you used to play for field position and punting. But in that game, you got field position that you expected to make the Packers play uphill. And instead, after all that momentum, you're the one playing uphill in the second half of the second quarter. I thought the first quarter and a half were major missed opportunities to be way up, to be in control, to have, chains and scoreboard in your favor, and they didn't do it. And I was surprised, frankly, after that, that they got back in it, because I figured after you waste those opportunities, I figured it would be a blowout. I really did. And credit to them for not, but you still missed opportunities.
They missed them early. It cost them late, and the Jaguars fall to 2-6, and we're back in a moment to look ahead. We're putting that one behind us. We're heading to South Philly.
Yeah.
The Eagles are on deck. You're going.
I gotta go.
Yeah. This team's got to go. That's what's coming up. We'll preview that matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. Jags fans want customized Jaguars furniture for your home? Check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. ZipChair, furniture for fans. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Calling all loyal Jags fans and loyal Gate customers, football is back. And you and 3 friends could win a chance to meet Trevor Lawrence. Entering is easy. Just buy any 5 28-ounce Gatorade or Gatorade Zero products at Gate with your MyGate Rewards app, and you'll be automatically entered. Not a MyGate Rewards member? Download the app and sign up today. See store for details. Alternate entry available at GatoradePromos.com/TLaw.
Chelsea here. Another month and another high utility bill. Those old windows and doors might be the culprit, letting valuable energy escape. At Renewal by Andersen, our energy-efficient windows and doors have the latest advanced technology, keeping your home comfortable all year round. Renewal by Andersen has a limited-time offer. Buy 4 windows and/or patio doors and get the 5th one free. Plus, enjoy 0 money down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. Some restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for all the details. License number CGC 1527613.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense, a rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The challenge, obviously, is his, the ability to create plays. The ones that aren't there, and he makes them. He's really good outside the pocket. He's tough to bring down. He's strong, powerful. And he's improved so much in the passing game too. And he's obviously got some weapons around him. And it just, again, another player that is playing with confidence. Again, they're kind of catching their stride from early in the season, when they had a couple losses there, but he makes it go, offensively.
Head coach Doug Peterson earlier today on Jalen Hurts, the Eagles quarterback. And welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, JP Shadrick, John Oehser in Jacksonville, Bucky out in Los Angeles. The Jaguars and the Eagles, 4:05 kickoff time, Lincoln Financial Field in Week 9. And let's start there, Bucky, with this Eagles team on offense with the quarterback, Hurts, and his ability in the read option run game. And I guess Saquon Barkley can fit in anywhere in the league, but he fits in really well in Philadelphia, it feels like.
Yeah, he's been a nice fit, and he's automatically come over and been their best player. And what Saquon Barkley has done, his presence, has made the game easier for Jalen Hurts. When you're able to run the football and run the football effectively with a workhorse running back like a Saquon Barkley, it changes the way that you have to defend the Philadelphia Eagles. Instead of sitting in too high shell, thinking pass first, run second, you now have to respect Saquon enough that you have to change your look. That creates more big play opportunities on the outside to A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. It's just a matter of the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, being on the same page with the perimeter players, but also being on the same page with Saquon Barkley. Because if they master that read option element and the ball handling and all the other stuff that comes along with that, it's going to be very, very difficult to stop the Philadelphia Eagles offense.
Yeah, this team, in a sense, did what the Jaguars wanted to do. They went out in the offseason and they retooled what was believed to be a pretty good team that struggled at the end of last year. And they sort of treaded water a little bit to start the season, and now they're getting hot. They're figuring it out. They know what they want to be. They made a lot of moves, and Saquon Barkley being the biggest, but they still have a lot of the elements from when they were really good in 22. So they feel like a team to me that is ascending. This is a really, really tough game for the Jags because the Eagles are contending. They're going to be focused. They know they can't slip up. They're a half game behind Washington. They're focused. They're at home. I wish I could feel good about this for the Jags. I think this is a really tall order for a Jags team that's beat up. But the Eagles are finding themselves, and they believe they're contenders.
And, Bucky, there's still a real physical group up front on the offensive line, even with Kelsey gone, I'm sure.
Yeah, look, they're still very formidable. They are a team that prides themselves on their trench play. Offensive line, defensive line has always been a priority. They commit top draft picks to guys that play at the line of scrimmage. Because they know that is the way to control and dominate the game. But when you think about what they're able to do at the line of scrimmage, combined with what they're able to do on the perimeter, 2 high-priced wide receivers that can share the marquee as number 1 wide receivers, explosive running back that is one of the best in the game, former offensive rookie of the year, a guy who can do anything and everything at a position, tight end that can control it in Dallas Goedert. look, this team is a juggernaut. If we were playing a video game, one of the first teams that you go and grab are the Philadelphia Eagles because their offense is so high-powered. If Jalen Hurts is on his game as a passer to go with what he has as a runner, it's nearly impossible to defend this offense.
And then short yardage. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Push play and everything that comes with that.
And he's reduced his turnovers.
Yep.
You know, they struggle when he's turning the ball over. I think he had 20 last year was the number, and he's got much less than that. I'm not sure what it is, but a lot less than that this year. So they're playing smart. I always talk, JP, about teams that know what they want to be and that play well when this team knows what it wants to be, and it's playing to that. The Titans used to be that way when they were good. You knew they wanted to play a certain way, and they knew how to get there. This team knows how to play. This team knows how to play the way it wants to play, and it makes them very, very dangerous as you get into November because they're pretty healthy.
Now let's flip it around to the other side here, Bucky, and the Eagles' defense against this Jaguars' offense. And it's an Eagles defense that ranks in the top 10 in most metrics around the NFL, except takeaways. They don't take it away too much. Only 4 on the year, but they're strong, solid at least everywhere else. There's about 10 million Georgia players on this team. And they know how to go get them out of Athens. But overall, even outside of that, it's a group that's been at it for a minute.
Yeah, a group that's been at it for a minute, but more importantly, it comes down to the puppet master, and that is Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio does a great job organizing and setting his defense. He wants to play too high shell, but what he wants to do is play like a little bit of what we call a match coverage, where it is almost like a hybrid man-to-man. Think Syracuse 2-3 zone from Jim Boeheim in terms of the way that they can give you problems and confound the offense with the way they pass off and switch things in the secondary. And then up front, man, they got some big dudes that can get after it. Jalen Carter is someone that you have to worry about, played at Georgia, has disruptive skills and really just a dominant presence at the point of attack. The thing that they don't do yet, they haven't turned it over. They haven't been able to get the tips and overthrows that lead to interceptions. But what they have done is they fixed a leaky run defense. They don't give up a lot of big plays on the perimeter, and they're going to make you drive the length of the field while getting beat up by really sound hits. Very fundamentally sound squad. That's one of the reasons why they're in the top 10 in so many different defensive categories.
Trying hard not to be pessimistic going into this, JP, but Vic's defenses aren't usually very, very, very low in takeaways. That number is going to come around. Considering the way that I expect this game to be played, which is the Eagles being very methodical offensively, what the Jaguars, I think, are going to have to watch in the second half is not getting desperate, not playing into the way the Eagles want to play, because I think a decent chance you'll be trailing in the second half. And not big, but, close. And when the Eagles start getting their way in this game, which I expect them to feel like they're doing, then you have to watch having a little bit of an avalanche in the third quarter.
What about up front? You mentioned one of those names up front for the Eagles, but the matchup for the Jaguars' interior offensive line, especially with maybe a new left guard in there and obviously a new left tackle. Well, he's been there for a couple of weeks, but some changes up front for a group that's big and physical against them.
Yeah, I mean, look, this group is big and physical. They commit a lot of bodies to the rotation, and so they're going to test your stamina. They're going to test your ability to respond at a high level over and over and over again. With so many changes going on for the Jaguars, like, it's going to be tough. Walker Little has to kind of settle in. You got to continue to get the nonverbal communication right. You also have to have the chemistry and the connectivity right, where you can feel when someone's in distress, when you need to help them, and those things. It's going to be a tough job because the Eagles are going to play hard. They've upped the ante when it comes to their energy level each week. Vic Fangio, you can tell, is really pushing them to kind of max out and wring out all the talent that they have. It's a really good group. And when you think about defenses that play well, gap discipline, excellent pursuit, great tacklers, and an overall understanding of situational awareness, Eagles check off all those boxes. Like, they're a defense that could get better and better down the stretch.
Yeah, I think what I did a poor job of enunciating a second ago, with the Jaguars receivers, you have a new receiver in Parker Washington. You're not quite sure how Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas Jr.
They were both wearing the non-contact jersey in practice.
And then you get into a situation where there's some strain in the second half. if there's younger receivers in that bunch, they have to be very, very cautious of being on the same page and not falling into turnovers, I guess is what I was trying to get at earlier. I just think turnovers, protecting the ball is always critical. I think it's going to be very difficult and very critical on Sunday.
Number one factor, turnovers. You got to take care of the ball. Remember, the last time we played there, all the fumbles that Trevor had in the rain. Hopefully, we don't have those issues. Hopefully, it's a clear day, and we're able to kind of like play our game. But it's something that he has to be aware of. Everyone touching the rock has to be aware of. Now more than ever, people are seeking out the ball. I've never seen so many people aggressively punching at balls.
Thanks, Peanut Tillman. Appreciate that. Great.
It's a thing.
Sure fault, JP. You worked with him, did some stuff with him, and so now he's spread the gospel throughout the league about how to create turnovers.
Oh, you should have seen him about jump out of the booth when the ball was on the ground. I mean, that's how he. Yeah, it kind of started with him, really.
It's an obsession, JP. Like if we're ever at the board watching a lovely game, sometimes when the ball comes out, I just naturally yell, "Ball, ball, ball!" It's just one of those things that come out. So I'm sure when you were beside Peanut and Peanut saw the ball, I'm sure he probably yelled that because it's one of the things that you do when you're obsessed with creating and getting turnovers.
It's gone around the league like wildfire for sure. Let's come back. We'll get our final thoughts ahead of the Jaguars-Eagles matchup. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Looking for the perfect place to host a business trip, corporate group, or social gathering? Look no further than the award-winning Sheraton Jacksonville Hotel, proudly part of the Marriott family of hotels. Centrally located next to the St. John's Town Center off Gate Parkway in JTB, they offer everything you need, whether you're hosting a meeting or just unwinding with friends at the BC Grill and Patio. Discover comfort and convenience like never before. Search Sheraton Jacksonville or call 904-564-4772 today.
The kick is up. It's good!
Score winning sub deals this Jaguar season at Firehouse Subs. Receive 50% off on any sub when the Jaguars kick a field goal of 40 yards or more. It's a bold deal for the bold city. Download the Firehouse Subs app for offer details. Redeemable only at participating Jacksonville and Orlando area restaurants. Only available in the Firehouse Subs app. Hey Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why they've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
Well-coached defense. They know what to do. Everything looks the same, really good disguises. It all comes out of this shell. Then at the snap, it changes. And they do a good job of disguising some pressures. They mix the fronts up. It's not a group that pressures a ton necessarily. They just, seems like they do it at the right time. They're on the same page. They really stress your protections when they do. They like to get one-on-ones up front. This D-line is a really good group. So they play to their strengths, and then the guys in the back end, they fly around. These backers are really physical, very physical, and then the back end is smart, and they got good ball skills, and they're all playing together. So I think you see their defense every week. You watch the season, they've gotten better and better every week.
That's the Trevor Lawrence scouting report on the Eagles defense, and welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, JP Shadrick with John Oehser from the Miller Electric Center, the Hyundai Studios, Bucky Brooks in Los Angeles. And the Jaguars at 2-6. The Eagles 5-2 on the year. They've had a bye already. They were 2-2 to start the season, and then had a bye week, and they've won 3 straight coming in. It'll be obviously a raucous environment, always is in Philadelphia. 4:05 kickoff time. Might feel a little bit like London. Temperature should be about 58 degrees by kickoff, Bucky. So wear that ski cap on the field. That bald
I'm not happy about it, JP. I would prefer sunny skies and those things. But look, it's going to be a little chilly. As long as it's not wet like it was when we went up there a few years ago, I can deal with the cold. I just don't want to deal with the rain and watching Trevor Lawrence have to deal with the wet ball. We want to avoid that. We want perfect weather, even though it may be a little chilly.
Partly cloudy. I mean, the low temperature is 37, the high is 60, so it's going to be going back down as the game goes along.
I can handle a Bucky Brooks skull cap. I mean, this week, when I looked on the website and saw it after the London game, I started laughing. It wasn't
man.
It wasn't that cold in London.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually nice in London.
No.
Come on, man.
I look on there, it's like the tundra.
Oh, no.
The frozen tundra of Wembley. What?
For the little ball dome, it was a little chilly down there, and so we want to make sure that you can't let equipment beat you. So I want to make sure that I'm fully equipped up. I'm glad you gave me the little weather report. I can pack my bag accordingly. Make sure I have my rain gear and all my other stuff with me.
No rain in the forecast.
It should be good.
No rain in the forecast. Now, I mean, this is John over here laughing with a full head of hair. Us two bald guys. We have to prepare for things like this.
Yeah. It's huge issue. Got to be ready
John.
for it.
Don't laugh
tough
too
task
hard.
Sunday.
It is
tough task.
Yeah. What do you think, Bucky, about this game?
Look, man, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. But I'm gonna say this: like any given Sunday in the National Football League, we see things happen all the time. The league is built for it to be a one-score league, and I would just love to see the Jaguars not beat themselves and see what the game looks like when they don't give the ball away on turnovers. They don't give away free yards and scoring opportunities on pre-snap or foolish penalties. They don't blow coverage where guys are running scot-free in the secondary. They make people drive the length of the field and just make them make plays. I would just like to see us play like that, and I could live with the result either way, because we're not going to win and win consistently until we eliminate the DBOs, the don't beat ourselves things, and then begin to showcase some of the talent that we have, even though we will be shorthanded in this game.
Yeah, I think it's a game where I have to assume the Jaguars will come in hyper-focused, knowing that they are down, meaning you've got some guys down. Christian's not there. There has to be an element of, hey, the Eagles are really good. If we don't play well, this could get ugly. Like, there's, but if they do play well, then you can be on point. You can eliminate mistakes. You can stay in this thing. They have the guys to make the plays. They showed last week they have the fight. It just has to be, you can't, so many times this season, Bucky's alluded to it, so many times they have, all of a sudden you're in 2nd and 14 for no reason. And 2nd and 14, you're playing against the sticks. It's hard to pick that up. Stop making it so difficult on yourself. So I'm with Bucky. That's what I'm watching for. If they do that, you can stay in these games. But if you don't do that in a situation like this, it gets away from you in a hurry. So that's why this game's dangerous, because they've been playing mostly so far in such a way that situations can get away from you in a hurry like this. They can't do that Sunday and expect to be in this game.
Because the Eagles are that good to be able to take advantage of a situation like that and run with it. Bucky, have a great week. We'll talk to you from Philadelphia on Sunday. Appreciate you.
We will hopefully this after win number 3.
There you go. See? Positivity from Bucky Brooks in L.A. John Ogier here beside me. I'm JP Shadrick. Thanks to our entire crew. Joe Fortunato, Brent Reaver, David Cho, Max Hochman, the entire crew at Jaguars.com. Thanks for watching Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.